Guys, since we're talking about GDP this week, I thought to show you some data and statistics because what we do in especially macroeconomics and economics in general, but mainly in macroeconomics. So in chapter 7, you will see that we talk about GDP, gross domestic product, how we calculate it, and the different components in GDP, what's included, what's excluded from GDP. Another important economic indicator when it comes to GDP, standard of living, and things like that is GDP per capita or GDP per person. So if you think about the GDP as the total income of a country, or as you will see, you will see in chapter 7 that GDP is capable of measuring many different things like total income, total spending by the country. It also measures the standard of living of a country, right? It measures the value of total production in a country. So it's a very, very powerful economic indicator. But especially when it comes to standard of living, instead of just using GDP, it's better to use GDP per capita. So if you think about GDP, as I was saying, as the total income of the country, GDP per capita or GDP per person is your share as an individual from this total income for United States. Okay. I like actually to show you a World Bank website where you can find all the economic, of course, indicators in their website, almost everything. I also like CIA Fact Book. I also mentioned them in one of the discussion posts. I trust them. I like them. It's easy actually to navigate through their websites, but I'm just showing you the World Bank here. And this is the thing, the chart that I have here for you is the GDP per capita. That's again, the GDP per person for United States. And you can see how it changed over time. You can see, of course, you can see all the increase, decrease, if we were experiencing, of course, recession or expansion, things like that. You can see everything here. Of course, we are towards this increasing trend right now for the GDP per capita, which is a very great sign. It shows that our economy is growing and booming. So right now, as of now, and since this data is for 2021, I'm just going to read you the exact number we have for GDP per capita for United States is 70,248.63 cents, okay, US dollars. So it is just growing over time. If you want to check out other countries, which I highly recommend you to do that because I really want you to also compare how other countries are doing compared to US, okay? If you scroll down, you can see basically all the countries and you can see these little kind of lines on the right hand side showing you if the real GDP per capita for that country is going down. It's just constant, doesn't change. It's going up over time. So for Afghanistan, for instance, it's just going down. For Albania, it is increasing. So you can also check out other countries and see how they are doing compared to United States. Okay. So you can also download the data, historic data in an Excel file directly from World Bank. It's free. So if you are an econ major, of course, before I start teaching all of my classes, doesn't matter if it's face-to-face or online, I check your majors and I saw that we don't have any econ major in your class, but that's fine. But if you are even just curious, you can just download everything in an Excel file. As you can see, you can find the growth rate, the annual growth rate information here. Unfortunately, because of the lack of time, we're not going to cover that chapter that talks about economic growth. But again, if you are interested, you can look into some numbers, not just for US, but also for other countries. And you can check out the economic growth rate or the growth rate of GDP over time, or you can also check out the growth rate of GDP per capita or per person again, to get a better understanding of how the people's well-being in each country actually is changing over time. It's always better to look at the per capita, per person, okay? Because population also matters, right? And you can also calculate, by the way, the GDP per capita. So we learn how to calculate GDP by itself in chapter 7. If you have the population of any country, you can divide that GDP by population, and then you can get the GDP per capita. Okay, so I just thought to share with you how you can also see some real life examples. And I'm also planning to do another video for chapter 9 next week, where I show you where the actual data are coming from, because you guys are going through all the calculation in chapter 7. So it's also good to see where you can find all these numbers that you're calculating as practice, of course, in real life. Okay. I hope you find it interesting. Check the World Bank website out, and also again, another good website to find all these data and statistic is CIA Factbook. I also love that, and they're both very, very user friendly. Okay, all right, take care, guys.